A single dad donated blood to save the CEO. Her next request changed his entire life overnight. Blood was dripping onto the sterile white floor, and the steady beeping of machines filled the emergency room like a warning. The CEO of one of America's largest corporations, a woman known for her fierce reputation and unshakable drive, was slipping away. Doctors were desperate, and no compatible blood was available in time. That's when a single dad, exhausted from a 16-hour shift at a factory and juggling bills he could barely afford, walked in. Without a second thought, he rolled up his sleeve, his veins offering the lifeline she needed. That single act of selflessness would unknowingly set the course for a life he never imagined. If you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, hit like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, Grandma Diary. Your support helps us share stories that inspire and heal. Jason Carter had lived most of his adult life in quiet struggle. Widowed in his late 20s, he had been raising his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, alone. Every morning was a battle. Alarms at 5 a.m., preparing Emma for school, working long shifts, returning home to homework and dinner. Bills piled up, rent deadlines loomed, and yet he smiled, hopping to shield Emma from the crushing weight of reality. His life was modest, ordinary, and in many ways invisible. But kindness was a language he spoke fluently, even when the world seemed indifferent. That evening in the hospital, Jason hadn't intended to be a hero. He was just a man trying to do the right thing, guided by instinct and a belief that helping another human being was simply what he was meant to do. The hospital staff noticed his rare blood type and his willingness to donate on the spot. Within hours, the transfusion began, and the CEO, Elizabeth Marshall, pulled back from the brink of death. She survived, her life spared by a man whose name she didn't even know. Elizabeth was a woman used to control, used to giving orders and seeing them obeyed. But lying in that hospital bed, she realized that her life had been saved by someone entirely outside her world of wealth and influence. When she regained her strength, she wanted to meet the man whose blood had saved her. She wanted to thank him personally, to understand the stranger who had risked nothing less than his own fatigue and time to save her. Jason, exhausted and wary of corporate magnates, wasn't sure what to expect. But when she invited him to her office, he felt a nervous spark of curiosity. The first meeting was awkward, a collision of two very different worlds. Elizabeth, sharp and commanding, and Jason, humble and hesitant, stared at each other across a polished oak desk. She thanked him, of course, but then she said something that would turn his life upside down. She wanted to offer him a position, not just any job, but a well-paying, stable role within her company that came with benefits, security, and a chance to dream bigger than he ever had. Jason was stunned. The offer was generous, almost unbelievable. He had never imagined that a single act of kindness could ripple into such monumental change. Accepting the job didn't come easy. He worried about fitting into an unfamiliar corporate environment, about losing the simplicity he had built with Emma, and about whether he could live in a world so different from his own. But necessity and hope guided him. He wanted a better life for Emma, a life where she wouldn't worry about rent or groceries, a life where he could dream without constant fear. So he said yes. The transition was both thrilling and terrifying. Jason faced challenges he had never encountered: high-pressure meetings, unfamiliar technology, and navigating office politics. But each day, he carried with him the quiet courage that had defined his life as a single parent. Slowly, his talent, honesty, and work ethic began to shine. He earned the respect of colleagues, learned the ropes faster than anyone anticipated, and became a trusted advisor to Elizabeth herself. Through it all, his relationship with Emma strengthened. She saw her father transform, not into someone he wasn't, but into someone who dared to dream, someone whose life could be bigger without losing its heart. And Elizabeth watched quietly, inspired by the man who had saved her life, not just with blood, but with integrity, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to family. Months later, Elizabeth organized a small celebration within her office, acknowledging Jason's hard work and his journey. She spoke candidly about the fragility of life and the unseen heroes among us, those who act without expectation, whose courage changes the course of lives. Jason looked around the room and realized that the moment wasn't just about professional achievement. It was about validation, hope, and the extraordinary results of ordinary acts of kindness. By the end of the year, Jason's life had changed completely. He had financial security, respect, and opportunities he had only dreamed of. More importantly, he had seen that courage and kindness could transcend social divides, that one selfless act could create a chain reaction altering destinies. Elizabeth became more than his boss. She became a mentor, an ally, and in her own way, a friend who reminded him that life's generosity often comes when we least expect it. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it. Your engagement helps spread hope and reminds the world that even small acts of courage can change lives. Comment below to let us know a moment when someone's kindness unexpectedly changed your life. Your story might inspire others too. Jason never sought recognition. He never imagined that donating blood on a routine day would be the key to a brighter future. Yet, that single act of compassion unlocked doors he had only dreamed of, proving that the human heart, in its quiet bravery, has the power to rewrite destinies. From a single dad struggling to survive to a man whose life was transformed overnight, Jason's journey became a testament to hope, courage, and the profound impact of one selfless moment.